Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started today. Our training today is going to be focused on the victim and rescue. A lot of emphasis has been put on that we're not really concerned about the rescue, but that is not the case. Rescue and the victim is number one. Every fire that we go to, what should we be thinking about when we get on scene? This fire is going to have a rescue in it. Everybody should have that mindset, so as soon as we arrive on scene, that's the first thing we're going to have to worry about is doing a rescue, okay? But as we are dealing with rescue, what is another thing that has taken place that has got to be handled? The fire. We've got to have fire attack in place also, because the fire grows what? 2 times its size every 30 to 60 seconds. But we're not worried about fire attack in this training scenario. What we're worried about here is victim rescue. So as we come in to do our rescue, 95% of the time, how do we enter a structure? How do we go through a structure? We go through the front door. We are going into a space that is tenable for us. Why? Because we have personal protective equipment on and an SCBA. We are fine going through that space. But what if we find a victim that is inside of a room and that bedroom door was closed and their room is survivable for them? So what are we doing now? We get in the mindset of snatch and grab. So what are we doing to that victim? We are now bringing them through the flow path. We are now getting them caught in the flow path. So we've got to get in the mindset of possibly doing rescues if this victim is in a room and that room is tenable for that victim, possibly leaving the victim in the room. That is a mindset that is going to have to change. Because what we're doing now is we're bringing the person into an untenable environment to where we could be possibly doing more harm than good. So now the question is, well, what if we have to get the victim out of that room? If there is a window, close that door, let incident command know I have a victim on AB corner, I need a ladder set, and we're going to get them out. Okay? So say we have a victim that we have got to get out of through the flow path. How do we handle that? Well, there's a couple of methods that I'm going to tell you about, but there's all kinds of ways you can do it. There is one way you can do it, I call it the hug. So say you have a victim, rescuers on SCBA and everything. Go ahead. So rescuers on SCBA, full PPE, victim's unconscious. You can put the victim over with their hands over like this. The rescuer will grab his hands and pull up. As he pulls up, the second rescuer comes behind the victim and bear hugs everybody. So what they did, sorry about that. So what we did was, we now have the victim protected with personal protective equipment. The main thing we have to worry about is air. We have to worry about their face in the flow path. Another way you can do it, if you have a victim that is down and you're doing a one rescuer victim, have them on their stomach, put a hasty harness on the victim, hook it into your SCBA, and you're basically doing a bear crawl with that victim. But you keep their face to the bottom or to the floor, because that's where the cleanest air is. As we're bear crawling, we still have the victim protected by our personal protective equipment. That's just 2 ways of doing it if we have to get them out through the flow path, okay? So what our training is today is we're going to do VEIS, Vent, Enter, Isolate, Search. As we do VEIS, Joey Gann here is going to demonstrate for us. A lot of emphasis has been put on the eye. Everybody's thinking, why do we have the eye in there? Because isolation is the #1 thing that we have to do when we get into these rooms. We've got to isolate the room, okay? So we're going to go ahead and start demonstrating VEIS. So when we do VEIS, the first thing we want to identify is what? The high hazard area. High hazard areas to us are bedrooms and bathrooms. Why? Most of the time that's where our victims are going to hide, or either bedroom, bathroom, hallways, or anything like that. Everybody understand with VEIS, it is not necessarily just on the 2nd floor or above. VEIS is on every floor of the structure and even below grade. A lot of people believe with VEIS it's just 2nd floor and above, but that's not true. It's on every floor of a structure, okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to demonstrate how to properly do VEIS. So we have Joey here, he's getting ready to come in. He has his ladder set, we're on the second floor window. We will not break the window with the tip of the ladder. Why? Because if we do that, you just created an uncontrolled flow path. And we do not want that. So as you set your ladder at the bottom of the windowsill at a 60-degree angle, he will come up, he will take his tool, and he will take out the entire window frame, sash, and glass. He will sit for a second. He will read the smoke. How do you read smoke? Volume, velocity, density, and color. That takes about 60 seconds to do. He reads the smoke, checks it with his tip. Now he's getting ready to make entry. The first thing he's going to want to do is sweep the bottom of the floor. Why do we want to sweep the bottom of the floor? You can have a victim at the bottom of the floor. So he swept. The next thing he wants to do is sound the floor. Because if we come in and sound the floor first, we could possibly beat our victim to death. So the first thing you want to do is sweep it. Now he's sounded, he's going to take his thermal imager, and he's going to check the room in a box analogy. Meaning he's going to check bottom, sides, ceiling, looking for the door, looking for the victim. But mainly what he's trying to find is where the thermal layering in the neutral plane is at. If the neutral plane is high, we're good. If we have a low neutral plane, we're in a high-risk atmosphere and we've got to go quick. So now I scan the room. First thing he wants to identify is where the door is. So now he's getting ready to come in. He's going to do a hasty search to the door. Prior to that, he's going to bring in a pipe pole as he enters. He's going to put that pipe pole with the point out. What this pipe pole does, it gives him a point of reference of where he came in and how to get out. Two, what also it does, it lets people on the outside know somebody is inside that room. So you got two reasons why we put a pipe pole there. So now he's getting ready to go to the door real quick, doing a rapid search to the door. As he gets to the door, he's going to search right outside the door on the floor. The reason why he's doing that is he's looking for possible victims in the hallway. Once the door is or the hallway is cleared, oh, we found two. Once the hallway is cleared, we will close the door and he will continue a hasty search. As you can see, he's got a tool on the wall and it's spread out. He's not hugging the wall. He is all the way out, covering the whole room. So he will continue this all the way around the room. At a rapid pace. And once he gets back to the window, he will exit the window and he will pull his pipe pole out. His search is complete, and now he can move on to his next high hazard target area. Everybody good with that? Everybody have an understanding of VEIS. Then enter isolate search. Okay? Okay, kill it.